Sometimes one single moment can flip your entire reality upside down. Sometimes just one look, one eye contact can link you to a world you never knew existed. Today, I want to tell you a story that's both terrifying and deeply thought-provoking. It's about an ordinary guy named John and how he came face to face with something way beyond ordinary. Back in 1978 in the northeastern U.S., John was just 5 years old. That day, he and his brother William were walking through the woods when they came across something that would change their lives forever. Between the trees was a circular structure, just sitting there in the open. It was metallic, smooth, but didn't look like anything made by humans. Right then, out of the shadows, this tall, skinny figure appeared, and in an instant, the two boys dropped to the ground. They couldn't move. They were completely paralyzed. Years later, that memory stayed buried in John's mind for decades. But the dreams, the flashes, the feeling that something wasn't right, it all kept coming back. "I was lying on a cold metal table," John says. "My eyes were open, but my body wasn't mine. There were figures around him, silent, with jet black eyes. They didn't speak, but their presence burned like a stare that pierced your soul." John claims these beings were experimenting on him. He remembers a strange electrical sensation in his legs and a warm, pulling feeling near his lower abdomen. And then a female figure, not exactly human, but close. He could sense it was female, but couldn't describe how. According to John, it wasn't random. It was planned. They took his sperm. He was part of what he calls a reproduction protocol. Years later, he met someone else, Jesse. Different place, different background. But the story? Almost identical. Cold table, paralysis, silent beings, and the same triangle-shaped burn mark on the inside of his arm. Even weirder, both men would randomly wake up at exactly 3:12 a.m., different nights, different years, but always 3:12. They'd touch the mark and say the same thing. It's like time stopped. Together, they dug into research and found something disturbing. A rumored government program called Delta Protocol. The theory? It was a secret deal between world governments and extraterrestrial entities. The goal? To create hybrid beings using human DNA. Smarter, stronger, but emotionally blank. Years after that, John was invited to speak at a private conference about alien abductions. There was a group of young people in the audience, quiet, calm, but there was something cold in their eyes. At first, John didn't notice, but when he locked eyes with one of them, something clicked. A familiar feeling, the same energy he felt on that metal table, was now standing in front of him. Only this time, it looked human. As John left the room, one of them quietly approached. They didn't speak, but John heard something. A whisper, not with words, but straight into his mind. "We're just watching." Shortly after, John disappeared. He was driving home when a blue light appeared in the sky, and then nothing. He doesn't remember the next 37 minutes. When he came to, he was home. But this time, the triangle mark was glowing, like there was a pale light under his skin. And his eyes? They weren't his anymore. Jesse is still alive. He lives off-grid in a cabin deep in the mountains. No media, no interviews. Just one handwritten note. "If you ever wake up at 3:12 a.m., don't look at the window. If you do, they'll know you're awake." Time doesn't heal everything. Some moments get burned into eternity, and some glances might just be a doorway between species. John's gone now, but his DNA, it might still be out there. And you might already be under observation. Stay tuned for new stories, and don't forget to subscribe.